Welcome to Casting and Wrappers. In this lecture, I will teach you how to convert one type into another one. Let's start by talking about the conversions we can make between numeric primitive types. The arrows indicate you what conversions you can make without losing any information. You can convert a byte into a short into an int into a long or a double. You can convert a char into an int, because remember that a char uses the Unicode encoding system, so it has a numeric representation, and so on. Let's see that in action. Here I have a variable that is a short, and its value is 10. And here I have an int in which I store the value of that short. I can do that without losing any information because of the table you just saw. So if I click on the run button, you see that the result is 10. Now, what if I do the opposite? What if this is the int and this is the short? Can I do that? Well, here Eclipse shows me something type mismatch cannot convert. If I click, I see that here it says add cast to short. I need this because there is loss of information in that conversion. And when there is loss of information, the process is called casting. And Eclipse warned me that I needed to cast in order to do this conversion. A casting is pretty straightforward, as you can see. You simply add in parentheses the type in which you want to store the value you are converting. In this case, I'm starting with an int. I want to convert it into a short, so obviously I need to write in parentheses the keyword short. So Java knows that I want to convert this variable into a short and that there will be loss of information. Now let's see another example. If I want to convert a double into an int, there will be loss of information, because a double stores a decimal part and an int cannot store that. So if I print this int, the result will be 3. If that double is 3.9 and I try to print that to console, the result will also be 3, because the int only stores this part right here. For that kind of conversions, Java offers us some options. One of those is the round static method of the math class. If we pass a double as a parameter of this method, it will round the result to its nearest whole number. So the result of this cast will be 10 instead of 9. Now let's talk about wrappers. Occasionally, you need to convert a primitive type like an int to an object. For that, all primitive types have class counterparts. For example, a class integer corresponds to the primitive type int. These kind of classes are usually called wrappers. The wrapper classes have obvious names. For example, the integer, the long, the float, double, short, byte. Now, suppose that we want an array list of integers. Unfortunately, the type parameter inside the angle brackets or the diamond cannot be a primitive type. It's not possible to have an array list of ints. And here is where the integer wrapper class comes in. And as you can see here, I have an array list of integers using the integer wrapper class. Now, when you store a new int value inside this list, like this, all you are doing behind the scenes is this right here. You are using the static method value of the integer class to pass a value to the list. Because, as I just said, you cannot convert a primitive type into an object directly. You need the wrapper class. And we need to do this here because an array list can only store objects. As I said many times now, a string is a special kind of class. Here I'm storing the value 3 as a string, and to convert that value to an integer, The class integer has a special static method called parseInt, and its only purpose is to convert strings into ints. And finally, I must say that we can do conversions between objects, but you can cast only within an inheritance hierarchy. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I have created a person and I initialize it as an employee. Now, when I try to store the value of the object X inside an employee variable, Eclipse hints me that I need to do a casting. And as you can see, this is possible. And if after this course you learn Android, you will see this kind of conversions a lot, especially in the user interface part of Android. And that's basically it. If you have any questions, please send them to me. Practice a lot and see you in the next lecture.